electric cars cheap, and then sit up and charge you over $100,000, for it. So they go and rape these people's land, get their resources, make their goods, make more money off of it, and then he gets praised for being this innovative, interesting, and we got Man of the Year. Didn't Time make Elon Musk Man of the Year? So there are things that are going on behind the scenes that people just don't want to pay attention to. You sit up and let Jeff Bezos and them, do anything that they want to do because he's able to provide you, a service. So it really gets sticky, and you really have to go back and look at the minutia. And like I was saying in the earlier videos about World War II, people were tired of war. If you actually saw the carnage and the destruction and the human, toll that it took on everybody. I mean, families and everybody. The whole communities were affected, by World War One. So when Hitler started doing his mess, people were hoping, just like now with Putin, that they were going to be able to make a deal with him that, okay, fine, you do this, we're not going to come after you. But Hitler wasn't going to stop there, He didn't stop there. So eventually, they actually had to make a decision, to go to war. And it was really a turbulent time. And like, again, I invite you to go back, and really listen to that information. So yeah, when you have people like Kyle looking at one side of it and not giving themselves an opportunity to really do that whole encompassing view of what happened in the past and how those things that have happened in the past are affecting, us today, then that dooms us to continue to repeat the same dumb mistakes when you think that you can negotiate with crazy people. You can't. And this is another reason why I can't trust white people. Because you're always going to lean on your whiteness over what is right. So you're going to, in your mind, you're going to fashion that the white way is the right way, and that everybody's going to be able to benefit because there's some money, that's connected to it. Money is not going to be the thing that's going to save you. You've got to be able to have character and sound judgment to go along with that money. So unbridled capitalism, and I'm going to talk about this, later. Unbridled capitalism. You got to put a cap on capitalism. If you leave it unchecked, it's eventually going to come and get you too. I don't care what color you are. The Great Depression was a fantastic example because a lot of white people had was their white skin. And when you do stuff like that, it promotes white privilege. And once an idea like that has been cemented into people's, it goes bone deep. It goes all the way into your DNA. So white people are always going to look out for their own best interest. I don't care what their mouth say. You got to look at their mouth and their actions. You can't just listen to, like Kyle again. He thinks that he's good-hearted. He thinks that he, is telling the truth. He thinks that he is, principled, and he's not. And if you don't match those two up with them all the time, you're always going to be giving in to their deception. So even if he thinks that what he's saying is true, it's not. So as black people, we're going to have to be able to call a spade, and a thing. And we're going to have to be able to make our decisions off of what our eyes and our ears are telling us. And history. Not just our eyes and our ears, but also history, as well. So I'm going to end it here. I hope that there's somebody out there that can really understand the point, that I'm making about Kulinski, because he's dangerous. And Vouch is too. I actually like Vouch, but this love affair that he's trying to have with Kyle Kulinski and Cristobal, because when he had an opportunity to tell Cristobal the harm that she is doing, he cucked out. And he wanted to go and play the nice game, like he did when he went on Tampu's show. See, this is what, again, so Vouch think that, he is down in the trenches, with black people. He understands a lot more, than Kyle Kulinski does. And he still will defer to his whiteness. And then, if and this is another subject, but he had a debate with this woman called Professor Flowers, and I got a chance to listen to a lot of it. And when he left that debate, he was actually thinking that she was, a proponent of genocide when she wasn't. What I understood her to say is that people who have been colonized have a right to say how the decolonization process will work. And Vouch doesn't understand colonization because he's benefited from it, and white people they haven't been colonized in this country since the British did it to them. And you see what happened with that. That was the American Revolution. And now you see what is happening with white people who feel like they're losing their white privilege. You saw what happened January 6th. They use violence. If they think that their rights are being taken away, they will use violence in order to be able to justify keeping whatever privileges or benefits they think that they had. And nothing has changed with that. Black people really, really are in a time where you need each other the most, because when it comes to something like a dystopia where we're in a Hunger Games and people want to fight against, the proletariat, and they want to go and be champion, I'm not going to be involved in none of that, because we're supposed to be fighting right now. And like I said, that's another video, and I am going to get into it, because don't come to me. I will cuss you out. Don't come to me asking me to be part of your liberation, program. I'm going to give you the finger, and I'm going to cuss you out of my face, because you didn't want to do anything when the opportunity was here to now, before we got, to that place. So don't, just go ahead and do what you're going to do. Because even if I help you, white people, y'all going to turn around and do the same thing to black people that you did this time. So I don't trust you. I really don't trust you with black liberation or equality anymore. I'm over it. So yeah, that was a rant. Really appreciate your time and attention. And until next time.